I think Arthur Johnson's had a bit of different form in recent weeks. Maybe that was due because he's been playing so much a high standard all season. Maybe he can be forgiven for having a little bit of a dip. But yeah,
he looks a bit tired, doesn't he?
Yeah, but you're now adding in 3, 4, 5 players that are not at it, and that shows across the board. If you get 5 players that are not quite performing at their best, it's going to become a bit of a struggle. And then guys made today had a quiet game, and that happens. The impacts felt throughout the team. So, there is work to be done. It was interesting at the end. See, after the final whistle went, and after his wee rant in the press room, Rodgers reappeared on the pitch. He had a bit of word with the groundsman. I think he's moaning about the park, but then he kind of went a wander across the park on his own and stood there for a good 5-10 minutes on his own in the middle of the pitch. The place was empty. A man alone with his thoughts. It was like an interesting kind of scene. He's also got a lot in his mind.
Yeah, I mean, I was quite surprised. We'll come back to where we started. I was quite surprised about his reaction after the game, Mick, because it pointed to something underlying. You know, not just dismissing today as an off day and a bad day at the office. He seemed to be pointing to something that's clearly under his skin a little bit.
Well, listen, he's not a guy that wastes a word in a press conference. No. You know what he's like? He doesn't waste a word. I mean, everything he says is measured and well thought out. I mean, I think this up here last year, if you remember, at half-time, he let rip at half-time. He said after the game, it's the angriest he's ever been. He was certainly more angry today. And this is them with a 13-point lead. I think he just doesn't want complacency. He doesn't want his players to get too cosy. So this is a wee rocket he's fired across them to get them going for this last wee push. Because like he said, the title isn't won yet. The cup isn't won yet. There's still work to be done. He just doesn't want to see them freewheeling to the finishing line.
Yeah, I think that's what he was talking about when he was talking about players that need to learn that, you know, you need to be on it week in, week out at Celtic. You can't just start coasting, even when you're sitting 13 points clear at the top of the table.
I think we've seen Celtic in recent, obviously they won 12 out of 13 or 13 out of 14 titles, whatever it is. And they've seen years when they've been miles ahead and they've won the league and then dropped off and lost a few games. It kind of looks like that just now, but they haven't got to the finish line yet. So it's almost like they've had that wee drop off. You've seen them losing kind of old firm games after they've won a title and all that kind of thing. And it's only natural, but it seems to have happened a wee bit earlier. I think there is a creeping sensation that they think the job's done. And listen, it is probably done. That's the thing. It can't really be easy to get that edge when there's not really any jeopardy. Because listen, I mean, still got the job done. When Rangers dropped points yesterday, it's like they've got to go up to Todge next week. They could lose again next Sunday as well. It's like it's almost not really any kind of danger attached to these games for Celtic.
No, you're right.
They still need to get it done, and they need to try and ensure it's not a kind of miserable stagger to the finishing line. I mean, they packed out these 3 stands thinking it's going to be a kind of a bit of styling show last time, and it never really happened. So they have to get themselves G'd up again for the final kind of push.